Hello everyone, welcome to our Algebra 1 lesson in the area method. We'll have 3 boxes and then 1 extension towards the end of the lesson. So for our first box, we will be going over how to read area tiles. So we have 3 area tiles, and each area tile will represent a certain amount of area. So for our first box, if we were to go ahead and shade that in, we would see that we would have an area of 1, since area is length times width. Going into our second box and shading it in, we would see that we would have an area of x, since our first dimension is 1 and our second dimension is x. X times 1 is equal to x. And if we were to go into our third box, or third tile, and shading it in, we would see that we have an area of x squared, since our length is x and our width is x. X times x is x squared. So now moving on to our next box, we have an example. We will be multiplying using the area method x plus 2 with x plus 1. So first, let's go ahead and draw our tiles for x plus 2. So we know our x looks like this. And then we have plus 2, so we'll have 1 and 1. So this is x, this is 1 and 1. So we have x plus 2. Now looking at x plus 1, we know our x looks like this. And then we have 1 tile. Okay, so now what we would do to multiply using these tiles is we would just bring this box down. So we have x, we have 1 tile of x and then another tile of x. So we know this would be x squared. And now going over to our next one, we have x times 1, so then that would be x. Okay, and then we have 1, so we have 1 times x, so that's another x tile. And then we have 1 times x, so that's another x. And then we have 1 times 1, so that's 1 tile. This probably looks a little wonky. And then we have another 1 times 1, so that's going to be another tile with an area of 1. So now going in and adding all our tiles together, we see we have 1 tile of x squared, and then we have 3 tiles of x, so then that would be x squared plus 3x, and then we have 2 tiles of 1, so that would be plus 2. So this represents x squared plus 3x plus 2. So if we multiply these two binomials, we can connect it to x squared plus 3x plus 2. So now our third box is a u-try. So multiply using the area method these two binomials. We have x plus 3 with x plus 2. So go ahead and try that now. Okay, so you should have gotten something similar to this. So this, we see that it's representing our x plus 3, and then this is representing our x plus 2. So now multiplying this together, we see that we'll have x squared. Let's go ahead and write in our boxes so that we don't get confused. So we have x squared, and then x times 1 is x. So we have 1x tile, and then x times 1 is x. Okay, and now going on, we have 1 times x. So we have another x tile. And then 1 times x is x. And then another 1 times x. Okay, and then now we have 1 times 1. So we know 1 times 1 is 1. So we have 1 and then another 1. Okay, and then now moving on to this side, we have 1 times 1 again. Okay, so now that we have all our tiles, let's go ahead and add them all up together. So we see that we have 1x squared, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 x's, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ones. So when we multiply x plus 3 with x plus 2, we can go ahead and connect this back, and we would equal x squared plus 5x plus 6. So now our fourth box is an extension. So how can we use algebra tiles to multiply x minus 2 with x plus 3? So what do you see differently here with these two binomials compared to the other examples that we've been doing? How do these look different to the rest?